Good evening, my fellow travelers on spaceship Earth. It is I, and I am Guy. And we have acoustic going for us. Acoustic. All right. I'm not going to. That's really cool. Thanks, Razor Titan. Probably not interested at the moment. This is a drawing stream, so mostly it's art. And I'm not going to be on very long tonight anyway. Just a check in with my peeps, my followers, and people who are out there, which includes like all two people. So, yeah, no, that's a thing. So, speaking of checking in, we're going to check in. Thanks, though. Appreciate it. And I also appreciate that you're like a real person. That's cool, man. Thanks. All right. Checking in tonight on this. We've got you right? I appreciate it, man. I really do. Get a lot of bots, so it's cool to have a real person. Have a good evening, man. Appreciate it. And we're going to go in here, and then I've been trying to get all the dialogue cleared up and straightened out. And I'm noticing that I'm missing this dialogue on this page and that dialogue on that page, which makes me think I've got to go up here and rewrite this. All this dialogue looks like I feel like I should say something like Einstein's not on her side or something. Like there needs to be a statement in here that I'm kind of working with. All the way down to 1 point, right? And set it for the font we're setting it for is my own personal font, which is Guy Serious. I'm just going to rewrite what's in here already. Besides, kind of want to break this into two bubbles, which would be better. Getting a little bit more. I need to center that as well. Right. So what's happening is this. I can take the text from here and put it on the actual pages to build the final version of this out. And so I want to have all of the text be actual text, because then I can use it for other things, right? Or I can move it to the final versions when we're ready. I checked. We stopped using English about 480 years ago. Here we go. Crunching that down. I could use the pen. It'd probably be a whole lot easier to use. Oh, except that our pen is screwed up again because we restarted. That's right. We've got to fix the pen. Every time I restart my machine, it erases all of the settings for my pen. So my pressure sensitivity and all that stuff gets booted back to where it was before. Factory reset every time. Which is kind of one of the reasons why I very rarely restart my machine, because every time I do, it means my pen's going to have to be fussed with for a week or so while I try to get it back to where it's supposed to be. So that becomes part of the problem there. Hey there, Brent. Happy Monday to you as well. That's important, man. Getting ready to work from home, you got to make sure that Tormund doesn't get involved, and you have to make sure you're not distracted by your printers. There are things. I understand this. I follow completely. %93 chance for snow tomorrow. So the storm that just dusted us a little bit out here is apparently coming out there to be vengeful. Because all it did was give us about this much snow, just enough to make the roads annoying this morning, but not much else. Oh, yeah. That storm did the same thing here. Just kind of came over here, spat at us, and then hung out and just was overwhelmingly gray. And then it moved on. All right. I think that has fixed all of those. Hey there, Jackson. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Somehow alive. I feel that. I feel that in my bones, my friend. I feel that in my very bones. Oh yeah, I get that. Mm. Oof, that's brutal. That is brutal. I start school next week, and I am just going through an ocean of pieces of paper. I ended up having to take student loans, even though I didn't want to, but I also don't have $2,000 to pay up by Friday. So it was either that or, start cutting classes out. And I'm like, yeah. Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's $2,000 in student loans. Should be fine. I'll just pay them off before we get too far down the road. And just before Christmas, in fact, the day before Christmas, I received a notification saying that all of my student loans from Westwood are finally cleared and they had paid them back. So my debt to student loan ratio has stayed at 0 for a whopping 2 weeks before I was freed and then turned around and put back in again. Oh. So that's the way it went. We'll get there. Foiled again. It totally foiled again. Oh, I didn't do that. I want to do this. So that's all right. We will get there. It's just a lot. So, but we'll be there. We'll be fine. It's all good. We are doing the right thing. Yeah, it's like a little over 1 year. I think I need to take 3 or 4 semesters, maybe 4 semesters tops. But this semester is Japanese, and I actually went on ahead at the behest of the professor, backed all the way up to first year Japanese just to get some of the grammar pickups because she was thinking that my grammar was a little weak and I could stand to have some grammar pickups before I went back in, which is fine because it ends up being a 5 credit hour class. And so that eats up some of my credits that I need to have used. And then I have intro to cultural anthropology, intro to biological anthropology, and ancient civilizations. So those are my 4 classes. And it's just all of them sound so much fun, you know. Right? Exactly. That's my thought. You know, the worst case scenario is it's an easy A. You know what I mean? But I wrote to her in Japanese and she redlined it. So she went back and corrected all of my grammar mistakes. So that was funny. She sent it back to me with grammar mistakes. And what she said was, she said, "You look like you've got great vocabulary, but you need some help with your grammar." And she's like, "That typically happens, I find, with people who have actually lived in Japan," because she said, "People won't correct you on your grammar. And as long as they understand what you're saying, even if you're not saying it exactly right, they're just glad that you're trying." She said, "So that seems pretty consistent with, with someone who lived there." And so she was saying that that's not such a big deal. So, and I'm not that worried, right? Nobody will correct you unless that's their job. And so it might not be bad for me to back up a little. So, that's awesome. They're valuable. They're not common, apparently. So there's that. But either way, tomorrow I've got to go back in tomorrow morning. So, Brent, I won't be here for tomorrow morning's broadcast because I've got to go back in first thing in the morning and go do a couple more stops along the way. Make sure I've got everything covered so that I'm ready to go. Oh no, you're losing people. And that's the benefit of being, on a big city's campus. Although I guess you're in a big city's campus too, but I'm part of the Japanese club, so I'll be meeting with the Japanese club in some point and at some point down the line here. So you're in a little city's campus, which is why you're running out of people. Oh. Yeah, you're a long ways out. So I was only going to drop in here and fix the... Oh, there's some spots over here that could use to be fixed. I was only going to stick around for long enough for these things, but there's some things to fix, so we will. If I have to. That's funny. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's fair. I don't blame you. Who wants to do that? Someday, my dear friend, we're going to have to talk about the scripting functions of Clip, because I really could use the scripting. I mean, they've all ended up in the dialogue folder, and every page's dialogue is in here. The whole comics dialogue, and it's all one big squish. And someday, a better way to do it, but not in the middle of a book, side of the book. Like, we're all have a little bit more free time and stuff, maybe over the summer. Because you and I now are back in school, and we'll be in school and doing our comics whenever we can find a free moment. Yeah. Which will be, later, not today. So there's the way. Okay, I have fixed all of the put in the text on all of this so that the text is all real text and not a JPEG image. And so all the dialogue actually exists now. So this, I think we've solidified pretty good. Issue 2 is ready to rock and roll to some degree. I mean, it's ready for us to go through and kind of work on it, hammer on it a little, kind of make it work. It's taking me some time to get here. There. Yep. That's all right. We'll both get into work here in a minute. We'll be fine. Get into our school. We'll get into the rhythm. Things will be good. I've got to suffer the slings and arrows of the fact that my school has decided to pay for RTD. So we're going to have to drive every day and pay for parking downtown, or we're going to have to take the trains every day and pay the every day. So it's going to be an expensive endeavor. We'll have to see how this goes. That's the thing. That's all right. There's a few grunts as I've gotten started on this, but we're doing the right thing, and we're going to stay the. I'll be as time goes on. I'm only grumpy because today where they're like, well, there's not a whole lot we can do to help you, so pay us a lot of money. Like, I just have a job at half time right now, so I can do this. A mortgage and a kid. So I mean, like we got to figure something out. So, but either way, tomorrow morning back to normal for the kid. The kids, we got to be up at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so that we can go to we're shopping around for high schools. So that's what we're doing. And so, just putting this in and making sure it's assigned to my kiddo. And put that in like that, and all is good. And that's a big red smear across my tomorrow's start thingy. So actually kind of have to be up to 6:30. So I'm actually going to. Wow. I just set my alarm for the morning and it says, your alarm's set for 7 hours from now. I'm like, well, I can't even get 8 hours of sleep, even if I go to sleep right now. Like, really? Meh. Make this happen. We'll get there. I may grump about it the entire time, but we'll get there. That's the thing. It's like, right? I just took emotional damage. I took 3d10 emotional damage from having to get up at freaking stupid. I don't like that. It's all right. We'll get there. And it's only tomorrow. We're scouting high schools, and we got to figure out which high school we want to go to. And so part of this is, yep, that stupid o'clock. Definitely. And after I drop the kiddo off at the high school that they're shadowing, then I have to go on to college campus and go do a couple of more other bits and pieces and run around a little bit and do some stuff, and all is good. But either way, it's about time for me to get off this here call and shut everything down and get off this show, shut everything down and go to bed. But I'm not tired, so this is gonna be fun. I'm just lay in bed. Either way, I'm glad to see you tonight there, Jackson. It's good to have you here. It's good to know that you're still out there fighting the good fight. And then I'm going to be joining you, and at least you also have it's all good. I've been absent. It's been, over the break has been kind of flaky anyway. But I feel like you'll be getting on here at some point in time a little bit more now because you'll be doing the school and trying to do a job and school and do your comic like me. So at least I feel like I'm not alone out there in the world doing this school comic and work thing. Yeah, we can study together. I mean, maybe the Japanese stuff will be, useful. We can do that together online, especially the Japanese stuff. I don't know if the rest of the stuff's even going to work on your stuff because, like, I don't know if you're in cultural anthropology or not. But either way, we can figure this out. But I'm glad to have you here tonight, and I know that we had Brent here for a little while. Yeah, right. And so we had Brent here for a little while, but I think he went to bed, which makes some sense. I would too. So let's all go to bed, everybody. Good night, everybody. I won't be broadcasting tomorrow morning because I've got to go to college, got to go to the campus and finish up stuff. So I'll be broadcasting tomorrow night. But tomorrow night's my Expanse game, which always runs over. So I'll be broadcasting late tomorrow night. So either way, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.